Grabbing a well-oiled bolt gun and feeling that cold steel against your palm is a uniquely American experience. It is a heritage carved out of the rugged peaks of the Rockies and the thick brush of the Appalachian Trail. For generations, the hunting community in this country has relied on undeniable stopping power to put food on the table. Whether you are spotting elk across a canyon or waiting out wild boars in a muddy swamp, your weapon is your lifeline. It is a piece of mechanical perfection handed down from one generation to the next. Today, we are heading deep into the vault to examine the absolute titans of the hunting industry. We are talking about the undisputed legends, friendly disruptors, and the relentless workhorses that dominate gun safes from coast to coast. Lock it in, because this roster proves exactly why American sporting rifles remain unmatched in the field. Winchester Model 70. We have to kick things off with the legendary rifleman's rifle. I am talking about the Winchester Model 70. This iconic piece of hardware has been demanding respect on the firing line since 1935. Winchester was already famous for the Model 1873, the lever action that tamed the frontier. But they took that legacy of absolute reliability and engineered it into a bolt-action masterpiece. Those early production runs utilized a rugged Mauser-style action that gives you a massive claw extractor and true controlled round feeding. You have a massive buck in your crosshairs. You need absolute certainty that your action will cycle without a hiccup. Beyond the mechanics, it is an absolute work of art. The gorgeous walnut furniture and sleek profile make it a true heirloom. And do not think this is just a relic of the past. Jump forward to 2018, and they are rolling these out in modern calibers like 6.5mm Creedmoor. You can run 1,000 rounds down the pipe, and it will still punch the center ring effortlessly. Ruger American Rifle. Next up, we are looking at the modern king of value, the Ruger American Rifle. When this platform hit the market in 2011, it completely disrupted the industry. Ruger cracked the code on building a highly affordable bolt gun that shoots way above its weight class. These rifles are incredibly lightweight. They are designed for the hunter humping miles of backcountry terrain who cannot afford to be weighed down. The polymer stocks can take an absolute beating in harsh weather. Meanwhile, those cold, hammer-forged barrels deliver sub-inch groups consistently. Ruger achieved this by using an integral bedding block system to keep the action rock solid. In that fully free-floated barrel with a user-adjustable trigger, and you get a crisp break every single time. Whether you are dropping big game with a 30-06 Springfield or smoking coyotes with a 223 Remington, this platform delivers. And the kicker? You can grab one of these off the rack for around $400. That insane price-to-performance ratio is why this gun dominates the modern market. Remington Model 700. You simply cannot discuss precision shooting without bowing to the Remington Model 700. Since 1962, this action has been the absolute foundation of the American hunting tradition. Remington has pushed over 5 million of these out the door in hundreds of different configurations. The secret sauce is their legendary 3 rings of steel design. You get a steel ring enveloping the bolt face, another ring at the breech of the barrel, and the forward receiver ring locking it all down. That creates a phenomenally strong vault-like lockup that translates directly to surgical precision. But this action is not confined to deer stands. Back in the 1980s, the military needed a dedicated sniper platform, and they chose this action to build the M24. By 2010, the Army evolved it into the M2010 Enhanced Sniper Rifle. They bumped the caliber from .308 Winchester up to the devastating .300 Winchester Magnum. If it meets the brutal standards of a SOCOM element, it will definitely handle your weekend hunting trip. Browning, BAR. Let us pivot to some rapid-fire capability with the Browning BAR. Do not confuse this with the heavy metal support weapon your grandfather carried. But the battlefield DNA from 1918 is absolutely baked into the design. Today's sporting BAR is a streamlined, semi-automatic beast built for the hunt. It feeds from a flush detachable box magazine, and it handles serious, heavy-hitting calibers. I am talking everything from the flat-shooting 7mm to the punishing .338 Winchester Magnum. If you find yourself in bear country where seconds matter, that semi-auto capability is a massive tactical advantage. Despite the firepower, it balances beautifully at roughly 8 pounds. The gas-operated system eats up the recoil, letting you stay on the glass and get back on target instantly. It gives you follow-up speed that a bolt gun simply cannot replicate. Bonus round, the Savage Model 99. We cannot wrap up this breakdown without throwing a massive, old-school curveball into the mix. Before you write off lever actions as outdated relics, you need to understand the absolute genius of the Savage Model 99. While other manufacturers at the turn of the century were perfectly content running flat-nosed lead through tubular magazines, Arthur Savage completely tore up the engineering playbook in 1899. He delivered a sleek, hammerless receiver, housing an internal rotary magazine with a brass round counter. That rotary design was not just a parlor trick. It was a massive tactical leap that allowed hunters to safely load aerodynamic, Spitzer-style projectiles. You no longer had to sweat the risk of a pointed bullet setting off a primer inside a tube under heavy recoil. It instantly modernized lever gun ballistics. If you spend your seasons pushing through thick, nasty brush where visibility is cut down to nothing, this platform is an absolute dream to carry. Depending on your configuration, you are looking at a compact system hovering around 7 pounds. It comes up to the shoulder so fast, it almost feels telepathic when a target flashes through the timber. And let us talk about the action. Lever does not feel like rattling a bucket of loose bolts. It locks up with the smooth, heavy precision of racking a custom-fit 1911. You can still rescue these mechanical marvels off the used racks for around $1,000. And if you ever stumble across the highly sought-after takedown variant, you can literally split the weapon system in two, tuck it into a canvas pack, hike deep off the grid, and lock it back together without shifting your point of impact. Good luck pulling that off with a budget-tier M4 clone without losing your zero. Weatherby Vanguard. Wrapping up our list is the absolute tack driver known as the Weatherby Vanguard. Roy Weatherby launched his empire in 1945 with a simple mission. He wanted to build the fastest-stepping, hardest-hitting rifles in existence. In the 1960s, Weatherby teamed up with Howa in Japan to engineer the Vanguard series. The goal was bringing premium, long-range ballistic performance to the everyday shooter. Howa machines these actions with surgical precision. They utilize a robust M16-style extractor, blended with that classic Mauser dependability. The bolt throw is like glass, and Weatherby backs it up with a factory sub-MOA accuracy guarantee. It means you are punching 3-shot groups under an inch at 100 yards, right out of the cardboard box. With a massive selection of calibers, ranging from .223 Remington up to the shoulder-bruising .375 Holland and Holland Magnum. The Vanguard is an absolute precision instrument built for the working class. That covers our deep dive into the rifles that built the American hunting culture. Whether you are deploying a bomb-proof Remington 700, running a rugged Ruger American, or dialing in a shot with a Weatherby Vanguard, these platforms have proven their worth through decades of mud, blood, and gunpowder. If this intel helped you narrow down your next purchase, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you do not miss our next tactical breakdown, and drop a comment down below. Let me know exactly what weapon system you are pulling out of the safe this hunting season. Stay vigilant, keep your powder dry, and I will see you on the firing line.